Real talk.
Yeah.
It makes it more
Just
real.
yeah.
All right, we are good. We are live.
Just chit
Beautiful.
chatting.
There we
How you
go.
boys doing today?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's a beautiful day in this amazing room I'm in with 3
Oh, yes.
windows
Same, dude. I'm
and
out
a
here.
amazing kitchen, dude. Look at
Just
my
bought this new
kitchen, bro.
house.
Yeah.
Dude. You're
Came
just out there in the
furnished.
forest, bro.
No,
You're
this
just
is my new
frolicking in the
house.
forest.
Our budgets are a little
He bought a
different,
tent,
Okay.
man.
So, yeah.
He's doing what he's got to do.
Yeah.
He said I bought a tent.
That's what I'm doing, man.
We out here.
That's what's up. Yes, sir. Yeah, we had to switch it up a little bit on the podcast, guys. We ran into a couple technical issues that actually
It's
brought
my
us here
fault.
to it brought us here to
It's
Google
my fault, dude.
Meets right now, and it's
It's his
working really
fault.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's my fault. It's okay.
exists.
Yeah.
Not really his fault. Not really.
Soy out key, bro. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
How dare
Sweet
you?
deal, man.
How dare you?
No.
Well, so Kendall, we got Kendall back in here, guys. We just loved Kendall so much. We just had to
Love
bring
you,
him
dude.
on, and I think we're gonna do him as a permanent feature here. So just be all three of our faces here at the podcast. What was the title again for this one, Matt?
Seek and you shall find.
Seeking you shall find.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that the truth, man? You know, the thing that kind of reminds me of is like the truth will set you free. Like kind of as far as like getting on the right path. You know what I mean? Like I never really understood that that term like when I was a kid. Like that phrase, like the truth will set you free. Like I thought I could fly like a bird or something, as a kid. And then as I matured, I realized that like kind of everyone talks about like if you lie once, then you lie again to cover that lie up, and the next thing you
Yeah.
know, you lie again, and then now
The
I have
snowball
one
effect.
friend. I don't want to hang out with this friend because I lied to him about so many different things that now this friend they're gonna figure out.
I gotta pretend to be this guy for that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. As a kid who I definitely was a liar as a kid. I lied a lot, and I learned my lesson. Yeah, I learned my lesson, and I actually truly realized now. I was like, if you just speak the truth, man, and you live up to your truth, and you always tell the truth, like it will subtract so much stress from your life.
Yeah.
I'm actually
And
super glad
That's
that
so
you
true.
brought that up because that kind of segues
yeah.
perfectly into a video that I want to watch to
Oh,
kind of
awesome.
spark a conversation. So,
Let's do it.
far be it from me to assume divine intervention, but
Here
that
we are.
was like we didn't talk about that at all. So for that to get brought up is kind of wild.
That's awesome.
Hey, man, is that beautiful title you picked? That's
Yeah, but that just like that was my point of
yeah. I
view.
don't know how I made the connection. Actually, I was trying to make it sound cool.
Yeah, it just happened, and it was like that's okay. That's the way it was meant to happen. So,
Yeah.
hold on, let me share my screen. So, that's not what I wanted. Oops. Hold on, I'm figuring out where to go. Wow. All right, make sure you guys can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's
Jordan
a couple
Peterson.
different videos. I want to start with this one. Are you guys both ready?
guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He said, "This is something else.
That leak in my house work.
Every man
Got
is
AC
not only
working.
responsible for
No,
everything."
no audio. It might have to be the other share option. So I noticed there was like multiple different share options. I think maybe one might just be a screen, one might include media. Oh, lost your audio, Matt, Mr. Matt.
Oh yeah, I got myself muted. I heard
Oh,
you
okay,
guys
okay.
messing with it.
Gotcha.
Let me try to do it this way. Let's see if this
All right,
works.
hit us with a beat, Kendall. Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry. Thought we needed some elevator music. We're
I'm
good there.
so glad that he pulled that up quick. So glad.
Let me know if you guys can hear it.
He said, "This is something else. Every man is
No,
not
sir.
only responsible."
No.
No?
No, sir.
Well, I don't understand
Nope.
why it's not sharing audio.
All right, hit us with the beat, Kendall. Some elevator music. How's your boys doing, Kendall? While we're waiting on
Crazy,
that,
bro.
yeah.
They are crazy. Nah, they're in the pool swimming right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got the pool set up.
Kinda.
Got the shallow and the deep end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I
That's
mean, you gotta
awesome.
be able to jump off that ladder,
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I'm still messing with it.
Amen, dude. Yeah, I had one of my houses. We had a pool, and we actually had a like an old plate gym that we like had cut in half, and we just had the top like balcony of that play gym, and we put it right up next to the pool. And it was like a
Oh,
10-foot diving platform because dude, the pool was like 16 feet deep. It
dang.
was insane.
Wait,
Like the pool
so
was
it was an in-ground
massive.
pool?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was an
Nice.
in-ground pool. Walked out. You had like a apartment, second apartment building upstairs, huge balcony up there that kind of overlooked, like encompasses big, like dude, giant. Like the pool is bigger than my house right now. Like it
Dude,
was
that's
a
so
massive
dope.
pool, and yeah, we'd go up there and jump off, and it was so much fun as a
That's
kid
amazing.
having a diving platform in at your place. Was
I
cool.
mean, what a dream. Like,
It was so cool.
did you have a basketball goal?
Yeah, for sure. We had a court.
Dude, that's so dope.
Yeah, we had a court, and the driveway was so long that we only
Wait,
took
hold up.
like.
Dude, I was talking about it at the pool. Wait, you had a basketball court, dude?
No, not like a legit court, but like
Bro.
it was. Our driveway was so big that like, yeah, we basically had like a court up front because
Bro.
we had like an NBA basketball goal, and so it was
Like one of those that's like cemented into the ground, or was it like a
No,
like
no,
you
no,
fill it
no.
up with water?
We filled ours up with sand, but it was a pretty high quality
Good
one. I will admit, it was pretty nice. It was pretty
That's
nice,
so dope.
and it was big enough to where we could like measure out like an actual 3-point, like the
Oh,
3-point
dude.
line. And so like, yeah, dude, I was the king of around the world, dude. I was
That's awesome,
dropping those in, dude. It was cool.
bro. That's so dope.
Yeah, that was actually the house that I found a copperhead in the side. We had our garage. We had like a side garage with the awning,
He said,
and I
"This
was
is
underneath
something
there
else."
doing whatever.
Every
And I found a copperhead. And I took a picture and sent it to my old man. I don't know if the picture was bad or what, but he thought it looked like a python. Like I guess he couldn't see the head in the picture. I can't remember because copperheads kind of resemble somewhat of a python, at least a little bit. And then
I trust your
yeah,
judgment.
and so I went to go pick it up, but first I posted a picture on Instagram. I literally like grabbed this copperhead by the tail, was like picking it up, and I checked my Insta. I put him down for a second. I checked my Instagram feed, and it was like, "That's a copperhead, kill it!" And yeah, so
Yeah, that whole statement just gave me anxiety. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy.
You guys let me know if you can see this.
I can see it for sure.
You can
Yes,
see
sir.
it. Let me know if you can hear it.
man is not only responsible for everything he does, but for everything.
Yes, no?
No, sir,
No.
What?
no, sir.
If I'm sharing my screen and I've got it on my screen and it's playing audio, I don't understand. Maybe let me try to.
Well, yeah, try the other option because if it's just a screen, it
I'm
would
not sure
just
what
do.
other option you're talking about, to be honest with you.
Let me see. So when I go to present now,
Right.
you have the Chrome tab, you have window, and then you have entire screen.
I don't have that. I've got
like, choose what you want.
a bunch of different options because I have a bunch of different screens and stuff. Let me try.
Oh. To share audio, share a tab instead. Oh, so you got to go to a Chrome tab because it says
might
if you
work.
Well, let
if
me
you go to
try it.
window.
Let me try it this way.
Okay,
way.
but
So
yep.
I'm doing like the application
This-
that this is in. So maybe
I think this will work.
maybe this will work. But we'll
I heard a sound.
Everyone else does.
see. Yes, no.
Hit it.
Wait, can you turn it up?
That's pretty much all the way up, Bubba.
Oh, then no. Yeah, I can't hear it. I thought I heard
Is
a
that the
faint
founder,
in
or
the
you-
background.
We just want to. He's in us now.
Man. What about you, Ken? I know you have a crazy snake story. Do you have a crazy snake story?
No, dude, I stay away from him, bro. I don't go picking him up and posting pictures on Instagram, dude. No.
Dang.
If I see one, I'm running. No, I actually do. No, I forgot. Dang it, I do have one.
I did.
Oh.
That's why I was bringing it up because I
Oh
wanted you to share
no,
this
I
with
forgot I
everybody.
told you that. I
Said
shouldn't
this is
have.
something else.
No,
I think
yeah, no,
everyone
I
should
saw a
know.
video on. I think it was Facebook. I don't know where I saw it, bro. But I saw this video, and this dude, he was, some wilderness dude, was out there, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever come across a snake, you just do it like this. You pick it up by the tail, and then he just popped it like a towel, And I was like, "Okay, bet, I'm doing that." Like that's awesome. I'm definitely want to just be walking in the wild and just pick up a snake and pow, like that's awesome. So, but then real life hit, and like we're at my parents' house, me, my wife, and kids, and apparently a snake came in, little garden snake. They jump up on the couch. I jump up on the couch because I don't know what's going on. I'm like, hey, and then my dad's like, oh, it's just a little garden snake. Well, he didn't know it was a garden snake, but he was like, oh, it's just a snake. And he walked over there. I was like, pop it like a towel, pop it like a towel. and my dad was
That's
like,
crazy.
just looked at me like I was dumb and just picked it up and threw it outside. But I was like, my wife
Nah.
tells everybody that I just jumped up on
I
the
don't.
couch.
I don't
started
know if that
screaming,
works,
"Pop it like a
dude.
towel."
That you would have to.
Dude, I mean, he popped it and it worked. He was like, it
I
breaks
wanted
his
to
neck.
admit it. I know my brother. He had caught a water moccasin that he believed to be. I don't know if it was water moccasin or not. It was really dark. But he wouldn't have found one. We were out riding and he found one, and so he chased me down. Excuse me. We hauled booty over there, and he just like Steve Irwin this thing and like jumped on it and grabbed this freaking he thought it was water moccasin, which water moccasins are venomous snakes. So
Yeah,
like,
that's a bold move, dude.
yeah. And then he runs over. He's on a scooter, dude, and he's holding the snake in his hand as he's like scootering through like my old apartment complex, holding a water moccasin, and he just grabs it by the tail and he just whips it all the way around, smashes his head on the cement, and it killed it. I mean,
Wow.
first try, too. So,
You wanna try this
all right,
real
Matt.
I could
Yep.
never, bro.
Yep. Let's get it.
Every man is not only responsible
Yes, sir.
for everything
What? Okay, so I did what it said to do, and it's still not working. So I think you guys have Discord. Just pull it up in Discord. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
Rather than,
Yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't like that, but
That's kind of weird.
I don't know because I've shared things in what you call I don't know how many times. I don't understand why it's not working.
That's
To be quite
weird.
frank, but
Is it maybe on my side? Like, is it maybe my? Oh no, because I'm hearing your audio, so it wouldn't be. Yeah. Weird.
all right. I guess when everybody's ready, let me know. We can also kind of start it at the same time. I guess.
Where'd you put it in the server?
Yeah. In the
Round table chat.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready whenever you guys are.
You ready, Kendall?
Are you gonna be able to have this on for the stream for them to see?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can hear it on the stream side. So
Oh, okay, perfect.
Where's
perfect.
it at, dude?
it's
Uh,
in the chat.
Still don't know how to use Discord, bro.
Where we were originally in.
Got it. All right, I got it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Everybody ready?
Took me a minute.
Yeah, we're ready.
he said this is something else. Every man is not only responsible for everything he does, but for everything everyone else does. It's like, what, is that profound, or are you just insane? Then you think, is what you receive back proportionate to what you deliver? And the answer to that might be yes. That's a terrifying idea, man. And it certainly, you can see that it's true in some sense, because people certainly respond to you in kind with how you treat them. Nietzsche said, he who has a why can bear any how. And so partly what you do in your life is you look for a why that justifies the catastrophe. Nietzsche said that you could tell much about a man's character by how much truth he could tolerate, which is very interesting. You know, there's an idea in the great Western tradition that the truth is the way and the path of life, and that no one comes to the Father except through the truth. And I believe that to be the case, because I don't think that you can manifest who you are without the truth. It's literally and metaphorically truth, that the pathway to who you could be if you were completely who you were is through the truth. And so the truth does set you free, but the problem is that it destroys everything that isn't worthy in you as it sets you free, and that's a process of burning, and it's painful because you cling to what you shouldn't be. Dostoevsky.
Dude.
Well, I definitely have to say, I mean, I, as far as manifesting, I believe it's kind of like you're finding your purpose in a sense. I think the only way to find your real purpose is to live a life of honesty and truth. And I think a lot of times that will present a lot of your purpose to you, you know.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. I mean, I remember the other day, I think I was telling you too, Matt. It was kind of, I was sitting there at work, and I just all of a sudden looked up at the heavens and was like, Lord, I think you're calling me to go spread the news. And like, I know it's taken me too long, but I'm understanding this now. Like, I have a purpose, and I don't think I would have gotten there unless I was examining myself and truly being honest within, and kind of being accountable for my actions and where I am at now, and honestly surround myself with good, honest people as well, that are able to check me and kind of not put me in my place, but for lack of better terms, keep me in my place, keep me accountable. You know what I mean? And so I think like a combination of all those things really helped me get to where at least a clearer vision of like I think what's important in my life, and at least that's what I took from that. I mean, I think that's really great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
beautifully.
think that so the way that I look at it is, if the truth is fundamentally the thing that makes you who you are, then that means that if you are who you are, you're exactly who God wants you to be. So that means kind of like innately, right? That truth is good and not truth is bad, no matter the outcome, right? And I think we've had conversations about that before, where it's like, if you tell the truth, whatever comes out of that is the best possible outcome that was always supposed to happen. When you're lying, you're only delaying the inevitable, and you're only delaying
Yeah.
the eventuality of that is supposed to take place. Which is why I thought it was like super cool to hear
Yeah, that goes
Jordan
back
Peterson,
to
who's somebody I hold in high regard, kind of
yeah,
talk about that.
Yeah.
and that correlates, I think, super well with the truth will set you free, because like part of being free is, for one, having your sovereignty, right? Having the ability to have your own free will, but also too, like I think if something is free like the wind, it's always moving, right? It's on a journey, it's going somewhere, right? And so I think if that truth will let you do that, right? Whereas, like you said, when you kind of start to become dishonest, it in a weird way, like how I look at it, like is it keeps you in one place, right? And whether that's mentally or whatever whatever your situation is, like, and you usually are running around chasing your tail, especially with these lies about your inners. You know what I mean? Like things that if you lie to yourself, I mean, I've gotten to that point where I was started to not only lie to other people, I was lying to myself,
Yeah.
and I
You
lost all
have to
trust in
lie at
myself.
all.
You have to,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, because
yeah.
You
I
have
think
to lie at
innately
all.
you know when you're lying that you're doing something that you shouldn't do.
Yeah,
And I
Oh
would take it
yeah,
a step further and say that if the truth is good and Jesus is the truth, then that means that the truth is God's will incarnate, right? So
absolutely.
Mm.
when you're lying, you're directly going against God's will. So,
Yes, and I think
Ooh,
you know,
whoa,
like
that's
with
deep right there.
yeah.
yeah,
That feeling that you got as a kid when you lied and you knew that it was wrong, and there was no one
hmm
looking over your shoulder, but there was some feeling inside
Something.
yeah,
of you that was just
it's
like, dude,
Your soul's aching because it knows you're going
yes,
yeah,
against God.
wow, that's
because
crazy.
the
Yeah.
law is written on our hearts, and we know, and
Hmm.
God gave us a conscience to bear witness to that law that is written on our hearts.
100%.
So,
Amen.
I mean, eh, we know immediately, and that's when that self deception starts. Is when,
Mm.
in my opinion, is when you start to when you sin and start to self justify or ignore,
Yeah, yeah,
and
because I
then
mean, you got to lie to
it,
yourself, right?
yeah, I
Because
mean,
otherwise,
you have
it's
to,
like you're sitting there beating the crap out of yourself because you know that you sinned against one of the most egregious sins. I guess you could argue it is like you know, you're sinning against yourself, right?
yeah,
You're
for sure,
lying to yourself, and you're knowingly and willingly prohibiting yourself from having the future that God meant you to have.
yeah,
So,
absolutely,
yeah, so I
yeah,
thought it was like super cool, and I loved it. I also like that he touched on the Nietzsche quote. Um,
Yeah.
hmm
you know, if you have a why, it justifies anything that you might face, right? So, to paraphrase a little bit, that's not a direct quote, but
It
um,
justifies the how, right? Like how it's
yeah, the
how
why
you.
justifies the how, right? Like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
matter no matter what is put upon you, if you have a why, then you can bear it, right? And
Oh
that's self
yeah,
evident. Like that's
Yeah.
self-evident. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
would argue that. Like, you know,
It's like Tucker Carlson said something that was I think I mean Kendall we're talking about it about how like yeah he was kind of pointing out how everyone should have kids like hey just go have kids it's a beautiful amazing thing like have kids as soon as possible
yeah,
like don't like
Lex Friedman
the
podcast. I believe you said that.
yes and the idea of like waiting to have kids until you're ready for one that's you'll probably never be ready but also too it's like people don't do anything unless they have to do it, right? And like when you have kids, it puts you in that position where now they become your why. So then now it's like, well, why are you working so hard? Why are you, being more responsible? And it's like that. Well, that gives you that why. And it is crazy how like having kids, or at least something in your life that's very important that you take care of as a man, kind of propels you in that direction of like now that you have that why, okay, I have to be more
And it's
responsible
the example.
yeah and it kind of steers you in the right direction right whenever
Yeah,
you
for
have
sure.
it with kids or something you care about or love I mean it doesn't necessarily matter what it is exactly but when you find something like that you have to take care of it kind of steers you in a direction towards God in a way what I found
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
I mean, the
sure.
why is different for everybody, right? Obviously, the
yes
biggest and
Mhm.
most obvious one is going to be kids. I think that's always fair, right? Like that's always
yeah
going to be, um, that's always going to be kind of like what works for
yeah
everybody.
hmm
But yeah, I mean, it's you got to find a why. Otherwise, life is
Yeah.
like it gets unbearable for people. I think, and you
hmm
know when
And
that's
that's what I was taking from that video was, because he kept saying, the truth is this. And the first time he mentioned that, because he was he was speaking in context of the scripture that's where Jesus was saying, I am the truth and I am the life. And it was kind of like just resetting to me, like, you know, he's the visible image of the invisible God. And, we were made in his image and likeness in perfect love, and that image and likeness is what we lost whenever we sinned.
mm,
And it Jesus came to restore that which was lost, and that image is perfectly example the perfect example of what that looks like as a man. It is the life of Jesus, and we can look at the life of Jesus because it says that, that, and I can't remember the exact scripture, but he says that that he is transforming us into the image of his son. And that is what the gospel is doing, is in the spirit of God is transforming us into the image of his son. And that is what was lost. And so that, he is the truth, he is the way, he is the life, and no one comes to the Father but by him. And it's like,
right
right.
just that concept is so profound to me. Like, you know, and I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job of explaining it, but
No,
no
I
no
think
no
I
no
think you explained it perfectly fine.
no yeah I agree
but
man
it's but yeah, I don't know.
I think
I don't know where I was
oh
going.
I did interject real quick Matt there's a time says we have 13 minutes
Yeah, I
in
saw
this
that. I'm
group
messing with it right now.
okay beautiful I didn't even
I'm
know there was
taking
a
care
limit
of it.
for
There didn't used to be, so it's
cost.
something that's new. So
Is it like a subscription?
yeah, they want you
It
to
needs to be paid.
subscribe in order to do it, and it's like they give you a 14-day free trial to do like, but after that it renews at $100 a year.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
You just keep me posted on that, Matt. If is it something that you can? Is it like a group thing after the? Like if one person has the subscription, then we can all kind of be in here, or how's that work? I wonder.
Yeah, I imagine it would just be
Yeah,
whomever's running it. So
Mm, okay, very cool. But yeah, no, I
yeah, keep me
definitely am.
updated on that.
start
I,
trial.
I'm a big. It's something that I've really been uh had to be very self-aware of, like especially in the past probably 5 6 years. Um, once I was kind of lying a lot throughout my teenage years, right? Like a lot of times just not to get in trouble, You know what I mean? Or
Right.
like just like the fish I caught was actually this big. Well, I was like, oh, the fish was this big. Like
Just
exaggerate.
exaggerating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if ladies were around or something. You know what I mean? But
Right.
uh, I've had to become super aware of that, and in probably the last 5 6 years, like I was saying, and really just I don't really catch myself doing that no more. But I remember that feeling of like when I went to go lie. It's almost like once you said it, it tasted so sour.
Mhm.
Like no, then like in the back of your head that your good conscience, like, dude, that's not true. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But then like you said it, so
Yep.
you either gotta man up and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I lied. I didn't mean that, right? And or you continue to go along with it, then you fall further down into that trap, and it's not fun when you're down there, man. Honestly,
No, dude.
and I feel like I'm definitely imperfect, but being at the state I am now, where I'm a lot more careful with my words and stuff, I find it to be
Whoops! I didn't mean to do that. All right, we're gonna get everybody switched over real quick. This account I have already, so we're gonna use this one, so that way we don't have to worry about that stupid timer. So I apologize for the interruptions, but we will be good to go here in like 5 seconds. You should be able to just join it and be good to go. So I just had to send them the link and all that fun stuff. There we go. Can you hear me? Or no?
your computer.
What's up?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll be in that little group chat that we have.
Yeah, this one shouldn't have a time limit because this is the one that I have the
Oop.
which call it that I already paid for us. So we should be good on this one, I believe.
Okay. At least you changed houses, dude.
Yeah, apparently. I threw one on real quick. I couldn't find the one that I wanted, or the one that I was there.
Nice.
There it is.
Are we we're still live, huh? Right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yup.
I think Kendall I feel bad I left him.
I added both of you, so hopefully he sees
Yeah.
it.
Some reason he wasn't able to pull it up on the computer. He couldn't pull up Discord on the computer for some reason. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah.
How did he get it last time?
He's emailing it to himself, like he's getting
I
on
can
his
send
phone.
him an email. I forgot about that. I sent him an email last time. What is it? It's... Well,
There's like some background noise going on right now. I don't know what's going on.
oh, did he just? Someone wants to join this call.
Nice.
Why is it not popping him up? No, go away. There we go.
Beautiful.
You're hearing back. You said background noise on what?
On your end, it's like just a little bit of static. Not sure.
I wonder if it's my AC.
Oh, okay. It could be. Not too bad. Mr. Kendall, welcome back, brother. Dude, we're gonna become pros in this, guaranteed.
Dude, we're all figuring it out right now. Like we're running it.
Yeah,
We're
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We're figuring it out, bro.
Hey, what was the title of this?
Seeking you shall find.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we're doing. We're seeking the ways around this platform right
Well,
now.
I mean, remember what I talked about beforehand
Yeah.
about all the projects that we're doing, and that there's going to
Oh
be
yeah.
there's
Yep.
going to be he's going to try, man. He's going to try.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah.
we've definitely if the God favors you, so does the devil, right? Like if you're
Oh
trying
yeah.
to do anything to I think to spread the good news, then you're gonna find. I mean, we tried like the first podcast that we did. It was like one thing after another. Like my Wi-Fi going out,
I'll
my
be right back,
power
boys.
going out. Yes,
Okay.
sir. You had the leak going on in the house. I mean, it was
Right.
just one thing after another. Um, but we did it. We got it done, man, and it feels great.
And the way I see it, like, dude, I want to get to a point um, where I'm like a Jesus air freshener, dude. Where like every time the devil squeezes me, like
Yeah.
it's nothing but Jesus. Because like the reality of it is, and this is a way that Dan Moeller and Todd White break it down, that is phenomenal. But you know, if you went to if you went and picked an apple and you squeezed it and you went to drink the juice, how weird would it be if it was orange juice?
Yeah.
You'd be like, what? Like this is disgusting. Like what is this? And it would be strange that you got orange juice from an apple, and it should
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like whenever we get squeezed, it shouldn't be everything but Christ comes out. Like
Yeah.
it's we like when life squeezes us, we should be just oozing
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that,
And
man. I've always respected you in that manner a lot, just because of how much you if how infectious you are, infectious, right? Like when you're around other people, bro, and like something about that, it's like you're being squeezed all the time, dude. And like I feel like I know you're and we all have our struggles, we all have our stresses, right? But I know you're going through it right now, man. And like even through
yeah, it's
all of
amazing that that's
that,
what you see. That's glory to God. That's incredible.
yeah, yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. I respect that very much, and I agree. It's definitely a great example for me because I grew up in a household where as soon as things got uncomfortable or stressful, anger and violence was always kind of the route it went, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever I mean when things got kind of rough, right? And so
Right.
now being a father, I have to really look at for other examples, right? And other mentors, and obviously that being Jesus. And that's why I loved watching The Chosen so much, because I got to kind of put it
See
in
it.
the
You have to visually
theatrical,
see it.
yeah, of like
And there's something about
everybody
that. Yeah.
disrespecting him, or trying to make fun of him, or catch him in in a lie or something, and then he just responds so kindly, so lovingly, and so passionate every single time.
It's
You know
amazing.
what I mean? It's like that's what I want to be like. I want to feel
And I
so
feel
much
like a
love,
lot of that comes from understanding, like
Yeah,
truly understanding. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, because when you understand that, like in your with the level of understanding, your heart will break for someone when they're being
yeah,
terrible for you, just
yeah,
terrible to you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you
yeah,
understand that, like, oh my God, like, and it's like
yeah,
that. There, I feel like understanding has a lot to do with that. But like with real quick with the chosen, what's so powerful about that? Like, if you think about it, dude, there really hasn't been like back then it was a big deal whenever if you saw it. Like that's
mm,
what gives the gospel so much validity is that like these guys saw what they're talking about. Then it's
right,
it's not like and
yeah,
there's something about seeing with your own eyes because like and if you think about it, there wasn't really that except for plays. Like if you saw something, it was a play or it was real life, and then TV and shows came in, and it's like, man,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
powerful, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Like because there really is something to visually seeing something as well.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
No,
incredible.
I we it's a blessing to have it, right? Because I mean, we're instructed to walk by faith, not by sight, right? And so
But
we
with
know
bad
that,
stewardship, which is what
yes.
a lot of you see in Hollywood, just bad
Oh yeah, like
stewardship of that gift.
I'll call it
Gives
out
you.
right now. There's a show called Noah that came out. It's on
Oh yeah, years
Netflix
ago.
right now. It's pod was trending right now. Like people are watching it right now on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's not accurate
And
biblically at all.
oh, Not at all, dude. I mean, it was
It's
egregious
wild.
to watch. Like me and Nyla kept on, my wife kept on looking at each other almost like every 5 minutes. It was like, I
Yeah, that was
was
a big
so
deal whenever that
upset.
happened.
Dude, I
It was a
whipped out
big deal.
the Bible and we started reading scripture immediately afterwards. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is not, and we looked into the real story of Noah because it was like, this is not at all
It's wild.
what
Because there was like giants made of stone and
Well, they
like
were the fallen
right?
angels. They were the fallen angels that actually helped Noah build the
Yeah.
ark.
Wait, what? Oh, so
Yeah.
demons helped him build the ark.
Yeah,
Like,
demons.
come on.
Yes. Now the only beautiful part about that particular part they added them is they felt they were repentant, right? Like they felt horrible for what they had done, but they were cast down to earth as their punishment. But then at the end of it, they made a stand to protect Noah and the ark from the Canaanites, and God forgave them because they were always they thought they were lost forever to roam the earth, and like their creator forgot about them. But their creator showed mercy and brought them back to heaven. I mean, I thought that was kind
Sweet.
of that was a sweet thing that they added, but like
That's sweet.
but generally the whole idea like it wasn't even scripturally sound. I mean, Noah, his three sons, only one of them had a wife. The other two were Noah actually like leaves, I can't remember their names now, but Japheth's son or wife or soon to be wife behind. He tried to kill the daughters of his oldest son because they were born on the ark. It was like
Good Lord.
absolutely egregious. Cain made his way onto the ark, and one of Noah's sons was plotting with him to kill Noah. Like, why this is all happening? I mean, it was so
That's
it was so ridiculous, dude. I hope that no one ever watches that and doesn't look into the real story at the very least, because
Well, but that's what happens though. That's probably
What do you mean?
97% plus of people that watch that movie.
you think they'll look into the you think they won't look into it?
Nope, they'll never.
Yeah,
read the
they're not
Bible
gonna
at
care,
all.
dude.
And not only that, but it will deter them
Actually
from ever
steer 'em away.
seeking faith in general.
Yeah.
Because they'll think it's
They'll be like,
ridiculous
"This is
fantasy crap like that.
ridiculous," and yeah, it's so absurd. And in their
Like, yeah, that's
defense,
fake.
it is completely absurd because that's not what happened. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
It's a mockumentary.
Dude, and if
Yeah.
and what's so
yes,
cool,
yeah.
dude, they could make biblically accurate movies. They would be rated R, they'd be violent, gory, they'd have all kind, and it would be dope.
Yeah.
It'd be a great movie.
The Bible's filled
Like,
with
it
so
would
many
be
great,
phenomenal.
fantastic stories. Like,
Oh my god,
like, you
and
don't
it's
have
true,
to.
and
And
that's
that's why
what
I
really
think it's so
happened.
important that we get people that are God-fearing.
So
do seek
important, dude.
Jesus in those types of positions, which is why I'm so happy to see like Angel Studios and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, they're doing such a good job, bro.
I agree.
And,
Yeah.
and that's that whole Seven Mountains of Influence,
Yeah.
like retaking that, which is awesome. I love that. That's great.
Right.
But yeah, Angel Studios is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they do great work. They do great.
Because
Yeah,
it sucks
Their
that a lot
Job
of Christian
Action
entertainment for years has been corny crap.
Was their
Oh,
Job
with The
adaptation was
Shift?
amazing.
Yeah,
The Shift,
yeah, very good.
amazing.
I also just watched Abraham. I think it's called The Only Son. It's the story of Abraham. Angel Studios
Oh yeah,
does
you were
that.
telling me about that.
And
I
it
still pay for that, and I haven't watched.
it was really good. I mean, honestly, it wasn't even about anything crazy Hollywood. They didn't try to put any like crazy wow factors. It was really emotional. I cried like 3 times during that show. I'm
That's
not
awesome.
even gonna lie, dude. Like the struggle between
That's what The Chosen did to me.
Sarah and Abraham, and then the
Almost every
midwife
episode of The
Hagar, and like just they really went to like the battle of like leaving their comfortable their super comfy home in the city, had all they could ever want, and then 10 years later they're still waiting on their promise, but they made mistakes along the way, but they held fast, and God did bless them like he promised he would. And they really do a great job of taking you along on the journey through Abraham's life. It was really awesome. I like it. I agree. I want to see more stuff like that, man, because we're flipping through Netflix, and we still do that. We've done it for a long time. Where you kind of sit there like, let's watch a movie, and then you kind of sit there, and like 30 minutes later, you can't find anything good to
My
watch
wife
because
hates that so
dude,
much, dude. Because that's every time we go to watch something.
it's just because I can't. I won't allow myself to just click on something without do. I'm the guy that checks the family ratings.
Dude,
I go to the
I'm watching
website.
trailers.
I'm watching
I
trailers.
feel you. My
I'm
wife hates that
checking.
too.
I'm saying, like, is there nudity, sex, gore? What's going on in
Right.
here? You know what I mean? I want to know because if I'm gonna put my eyes on that, put that in my brain,
What's
I
that
want
website? I forget what
to.
it's called.
I just look up family
PureFlix?
rating of
No.
this. Yeah, PureFlix is one of them, but I think
Yeah,
that's like
that's an
a
app. Yeah, that's a streaming service.
yeah, and I think they do Christian shows. I think
They do.
PureFlix, but no, yeah, I just go to I just type in family rating for, you know, whatever, and
Yeah.
I just kind of figure that out. And if it says something that we don't want to watch it, we don't watch it. We'll find something else, and it takes a while to find something, and that's why I'm
It
so
does.
like seeing stuff like Angel. If I all I gotta see is Angel Studios, let's watch it. Don't even have to look up
Did
a
it
family rating. You know,
do you remember that movie Paul
it's
that came
on
out a couple
Netflix.
years
I
ago?
think. I
Is
think it's
that
on Netflix right now. Yeah.
it really? Oh, that's
Mhm.
dope.
Yeah.
Did they make that one? I can't
I
remember if
don't
they
know.
made that one
I
or
haven't
not.
watched it. I haven't watched it. I
It
just
it
saw it
was
on
it was pretty
Netflix.
good.
It's on Netflix or
It was a
Hulu.
good
It's,
movie.
it's one of the two. But yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I am gonna watch that one because it's definitely next on the list.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. I know that I think the Sound of Freedom is also on Netflix now too.
For real?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
hmm
They put it on Netflix?
A
That's
lot of Angel
awesome,
Studio stuff
dude.
is kind of going on Netflix.
Whoa, but Sound of Freedom? They
Yeah.
put on Netflix?
Oh, I knew it was gonna
That's
happen, dude.
insane, dude.
Because God's trying to get that. I believe that God's trying. A lot of Angel Studio stuff is on Netflix right now, and I think it could be.
I'm
Uh,
pretty shocked that they put that one on there. That's awesome.
it is great. It is great,
That
and
is
I'm like,
awesome.
Netflix must be in trouble because they're like, we need Jesus on here.
It's coming.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's
But
coming.
I keep seeing this thing on my YouTube. I watched like one video, and now it's like I get these videos that pop up on my feed talking about Euphrates River, and it's like
Yeah, it
I,
dried up.
I swear, like every day, it's like 2 minutes ago, and then it shows like Joe Rogan's face going like, and it's like a background of like the Euphrates River drying up, and I guess the giants that are going to be released in the caves and the different sounds and stuff they heard, and
I have seen some of those with the sounds.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I find it hard to watch some of those videos because so much of that's like clickbaity, and they're just kind of they don't like you can tell when you're watching a video like this person is not coming from a perspective of Jesus, but he's just making a video that's trending and he just wants to talk about it. And it was some of the perspectives was kind of weird, but it was interesting. I mean, I watched a little bit of it just kind of find out what's going on.
Yeah, I
But
haven't heard anything about the Euphrates, to be honest. So
Oh, it's
Yeah.
been drying up for a
unaware
while
of it
now.
drying up, but
yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah, I know it's part of it's. I mean, it's one of the we were forewarned about the Euphrates River drying up, and I know Kendall, you said that you were going to possibly looking into starting a Twitter though, huh? Or I guess it'd be an X now. I'll call it Twitter. But
Yeah, I like
Most
X sounds so cool, but it's so hard for me to say
It's
and
Twitter.
people to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's Twitter.
I feel like they half did that, half didn't, because it's like people still call it tweets. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's just such a hard change, and it was so fast. I mean, normally you
Well,
can
yeah, they should have
slow
just
roll
did
that.
it
to a degree.
100% from the, and just full sent it, or just not at all. is my
Well,
opinion.
like, I mean, that was
Yeah.
such
like
a
now they're like
that was
half
such a
in, half
curveball.
out. And it's
Mhm.
just
Well,
like,
dude, that
it's a tweet.
was such a curveball for him to buy that, and I'm so glad he did. But
Yeah.
like, that was such a curveball, and he, excuse me, he came in and like, I mean, really saved the day for real. But like, that was such a, I mean, overnight, like, okay, like, nope, this is no longer this. We're completely separating from the way this is. Like, I mean, but that's hard for people to
Well, yeah, and a lot of the documents that
get with.
came out of that, right? Like a lot of the releases.
That was awesome. There's
learned
more.
A lot
There's more.
about that. What
There's
was
so
going
much
on
more
there,
coming.
and the Supreme Court has kind of ruled on some of those things not too long ago. Kind of making it. I mean, I think most people would already thought, well, it's illegal for the government to do that, but the
Yeah.
Supreme Court kind of. I don't remember who it was. XVX type of thing, but they had made a Supreme Court decision, I think within the last couple of weeks, where talking about that type of coercion that took place and that how that's is a violation of the First Amendment, and I think it might have been related to maybe it was related to Google or some other big tech company, but yeah, there was a case brought against it. So there's a lot of positives that came out of that. So it's nice to see that apparently there are some amendments on the Constitution that are absolute, which is contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, that's yeah, there's about to be a reckoning with all that. Because yeah, you got Fauci before judicial hearings. I don't know if they're supposed to resume. I don't think he was done, but they were doing it last week, and it was.
Yeah,
Ooh, he was getting
he
grilled.
put a lot of that off on the CDC. I mean, nothing's going to come of it. I mean, the court of public opinion will make their decision, but nothing other than that. The government's not going to. The government's.
I think it's going to be treason charges at some point.
In an
Nah,
ideal
dude, it's
world,
crimes against humanity, bro.
in an ideal world, would he be punished? Oh, of course.
It's coming.
Would everybody that had a decision in those types of things possibly be looked at for ramifications?
It's gonna happen.
Disagree with that as far as like removing from positions, barring from office type of things, but it's just not going to happen. That's not how the government operates. And I hope that I'm wrong.
Bro, at this point,
I
mean, but the reality is, at this point, truthfully, in the way I think is like, the reality is, U.S. funded biolabs created COVID.
Yeah, but I mean,
For
those
sure.
biolabs are still open
And
still operating.
right, but it was U.S. funded biolabs.
But my point is they're still open, and still operating, and still being funded by the United States.
Right, and
still doing the same research that led to COVID. so we
it's with the bird flu now. But if that's not dealt with, like, dude, we are enemies of everyone in the world if we don't do something. So
I mean, they're all doing it as well.
Fauci the fall guy.
Russia's doing it. China's clearly doing it because that's who we're working with. We know Canada does it because Canada
biological weapons have been around forever.
Where China had gotten busted for stealing trade secrets from one of their biolabs. So every big country,
China's been saying for years. China's been saying for years that if they could create a biological weapon that could attack based on ethnically attack people based on people's DNA, that they could, which is scary that they just, I forget how many billions they just bought all the data from 23andMe like a couple weeks ago, but that was a little concerning. But yeah, I mean, bioweapons have been around forever.
I hadn't heard about the 23andMe thing.
Oh yeah, that just happened like a week or two ago. Hold on, look.
Yeah, Kendall's like a super soldier. He's like a Twitter super soldier, dude. I mean,
I just in like 20. I don't know. I don't remember if it was 20. No, it had to have been like 2017, 2016, 2017. I felt like the Lord really pushed me to start paying attention and start researching and start keeping up. Which
really good at
I took. Thank you, dude. I took the probably unhealthy approach and just went all in with it. And but I've learned
so much, huh?
More than I can really contain most of the time. It feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
I feel that. That's something I gotta get better at, is kind of paying attention to what's going on. So much of it kind of goes in one ear out the other, so to speak, and I mean, I don't even know if it's on purpose. I think it's just I'm neglecting that because I've just I'm in one of those, well, whatever happens perspectives at the moment. But I do need to get kind of a little bit more aware of what's happening because there's so much, dude.
So it's just wild.
That was fake. But now I'm on
Well, I just saw something.
Daily
Um,
Journal, and this is talking about it like it's, I don't know. This is the issue with modern society, and this is why Western society will most likely fall within the next 150 to 200 years, is because we can't ascertain what's real and what's fake any longer. We can't trust even what we see
Well,
with our eyes. So
I do want to read a scripture on that, right? Because this is I relate this scripture a little bit, and it's a quick one. It's in Luke 13, verse 31, and this is so cool. It says, "In that hour, some Pharisees came up and said to Yeshua, 'Get out and leave from here, because Herod wants to kill you.' But Yeshua said to them, 'Go and tell that fox, indeed, I'm driving out demons and performing healings today and tomorrow, and on the third day I will reach my goal. But I must keep going today and tomorrow because it just can't be that a prophet would perish outside Jerusalem.'" So, like, when I heard that, like, I literally just opened up my Bible and this is what it came up to. But it's like God's gonna fulfill, like we talked about last week. Like God's already won, right? So whatever's gonna happen, God's will is gonna happen. You know what I mean? No matter what. And so I think there's gonna be some crazy stuff that comes about, but
KPLC.
at the end of the day, dude, God's plans is gonna come into fruition for sure.
for real.
You know what I mean?
You want me to read some commentary
Yeah,
from that I have on that?
yeah,
So I'm just gonna read it. It has it, for verses. So it's like 13:25 through 30, and then 13:31 through 32,
yeah,
13:33
yeah.
through 36. All right. So 25 through 30. Just as God shut the door on Noah's ark when the rain began to fall, leaving the unbelievers on the outside and 8 faithful souls protected on the inside, there's a set time to accept Christ. Once the door of redemption is closed and people stand before Christ at the judgment, it will be too late to repent of wrongdoing.
Mm.
People will see Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and all the prophets at this final judgment, but they themselves will be cast out of the kingdom and separated from God for all eternity. 31 through 32. Herod was the Romans' ruler in Galilee. Christ's ministry greatly impacted Galilee, touching massive crowds of people. Herod would have been fearful that Christ's followers could rebel and overthrow him, setting up Christ as the regional ruler. Perhaps Herod put a bounty on Christ, desiring to see him dead. Christ was unmoved by the threat and called Herod a fox. The fox was a metaphor for a wicked, cunning, and sly Jewish leader. These
Mm.
traits these traits mark the character of Herod, a man who was illegally married to his brother's wife. Christ had a limited time remaining to minister, and then he would be perfected. The word perfected means finished or completed. Uh, 33 through 36, Christ knew that he would die in Jerusalem and warned that this city had been the site of previous slayings of Hebrew prophets by their own people. Here he warned them all that their house, the temple, would be left desolate, which it was after Jerusalem's destruction in AD.
Mm.
I should have
Yeah.
just read the 31 through
No,
32.
hey, that was a lot of great information.
So
I love this, dude. This is Perry Stone's study Bible, and it's
Yeah, I
freaking
like that.
incredible, dude.
I like that a lot. Matt, what were you gonna say?
hold on, I'm gonna share this for you guys. So I was trying to validate the claim, but it seems like, so according, can you guys see my screen for one?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Sir.
according to this, the claim is it originated from a satirical article shared on a publishing platform. So it's kind of like I think that there are some things happening, but that the part that's satirical is like, oh, that they sold all the data. Like there's quotes on here from like 23andMe spokespeople, and so part of the reason why I would believe that is like most countries up to and including like the EU has very strict rules on it, right? Like most companies aren't really allowed to sell your data like that type of like anything that would be like related to that, right? Like DNA is like, there's pretty strict laws against that sort of thing. Now there's definitely like there are ways that companies can do it, but you usually have to opt in to like allow pharmaceutical companies to access it to try to help cure diseases and stuff. So it seems like it's not as true, possibly.
possibly what the concept is true. I mean, they
I mean,
definitely,
I definitely don't put it outside of the realm of
yeah, but
possibility
that
at some point for
a lot
sure,
of that
right?
came from a satire site. I'm seeing now.
Yeah, is what it looks like. And maybe there's bits and pieces. I know because I also found a different article where it like GSK PLC was this was October 30th of last year. They had a thing where they had like a $20 million deal for access to genetic testing companies' vast trove of consumer DNA data, which extends a 5-year collaboration that's allowed the drug maker to mine genetic data as it's researched new medications. But like a lot of times, even when companies do these sorts of things, right? Is there's strict requirements of like anonymizing the data, so that way they get the genetic information, but it's not. There's no like, personally identifiable information there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they'll know your genetic makeup, but they wouldn't be able to tie that to you, right? It would just be like, well, somebody on the planet, this is their DNA, their DNA makeup. But I mean, obviously, that the only caveat with that is hypothetically, if you're in a DNA database for some reason, then hypothetically you could be found that way if they have access to that. But
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, they are out to. I mean, they're
well,
they're
we're in a
wanting
cold war
everything
with
that they can
China.
get. Yeah, I mean, we have been forever, for
Well,
real, like a bad
since
one.
we've made them legitimate again. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We made them legitimate by bringing them into the allowing countries to trade with them essentially, right? Because for better or for worse, we're definitely the world's police, and that's been like that since post World War II. I don't remember I know it's named after. I know it's named after the ski resort that the meeting took place at. But there was an agreement after World War II where essentially we laid out our vision for post World War II society, right? And it was basically the United States saying, "Look, this is your options."
It's not Jekyll Island, is it?
No, it's not that. Hold
Oh,
on.
that's the Federal Reserve. My bad.
Yeah, it's hold on a second. I can look it up real quick. But essentially, right, is it kind of comes down to like we basically gave them two options, right? So it was the United States is going to essentially take over Europe, right? We're not going to leave. We are going to keep our troops here, and you are going to listen to what we tell you, or we'll leave, and you agree what we say more or less goes, and you'll join us in our fight against Russia, right? This was because that was our big concern post World War II. We knew Russia was a big deal, and we knew that we needed to try to contain them and contain communism for whatever reason that might be. I don't know how much we knew or didn't know at that time as far as what Stalin was doing, but we had a big focus on containing Russia. So we basically told Europe, we're either going to stay here to try to keep Russia from possibly doing anything, because you got to keep in mind, like after we defeated Hitler, as far as like the Allied armies go, it was pretty much Russia and the United States. A lot of like France didn't really have very much left. England didn't have a whole lot left. Like a lot of the other Allied countries were pretty decimated, right? And their manufacturing base was pretty decimated as well. So it was kind of the Russia and United States. So and that's kind of where we laid out, like, we'll keep world peace. We'll patrol the waters and make sure that people are allowed to have free and fair and open trade. but you have
Which
the
was good
backups
whenever we
with
were
Russia.
morally good.
Well, yeah, well, and it was fantastic, right? Because it brought us into the most peaceful era that's ever existed on planet Earth, and the most prosperous era that's ever existed on planet Earth. More countries and more people have been pulled out of poverty because of that meeting after World War II than any portion of human history that's ever existed. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's I'm trying to find. I'll find the name on it, and I'll tell you something, you guys, if you're interested. I like history, so sorry to go on the tangent, but
No, dude, I enjoy listening. I don't really know enough to contribute much, but I do enjoy learning and listening.
Hey, side note, Matt, did you know we put sanctions on a um, company called BGI Group, which is one of the world's biggest genetic analysis companies. Uh, we put them among a bunch of other Chinese companies on an entity list that limits access to U.S. technology on security or human rights grounds.
where were they located?
They were trying to create a database of genetic information for Muslims and other Chinese minorities.
Who China was?
Hmm.
Oh,
But to
I mean
think
that doesn't
that
surprise me. I mean
they're,
there's a genocide happening right now,
oh yeah,
as we speak in China of the Uyghur people, and
hmm,
the United States and nobody else on the planet will say anything to try to
seems to
stop
care.
it. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
we are complacent in what will likely be one of the most catastrophic human rights violations in human history. So,
Crazy, dude.
like they're particularly brutal. Like, and it's not even like something like, you know, because a lot of people didn't know about like what was really happening during World War II, like the
Yeah, it was
atrocities that
brutal.
took place until we were kind of liberating Germany and kind of going through and being like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? Um,
Seriously.
so we kind of learned really late in the game there, but the United Nations knows there's been studies that have been put out. They've got satellite imagery of these types of things that are these types of camps and things that are happening where there's live human organ harvesting and people going on
Sick.
trains and never being seen again by their families, and so it's happening, and it's
They're
not like a
sick.
possibility of it not happening. It is happening, and
Yeah,
nobody
for
does
sure.
anything to try to stop it, unfortunately.
No one cares. It's ridiculous, dude.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, we're
absurd.
definitely in. I feel like things have always been pretty crazy, right? But I mean, I know they're getting crazier and crazier. But with this type of technology, man, we're able to, move information around so fast. I mean, I think it talks about that in Daniel, that information will be readily available, right, in the last days. And
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, dude, I mean, you look at Revelations, dude, how else could the whole world see the two prophets be murdered and celebrate? Like, how else could the whole world see that event take
yeah,
place and then also see them rise from the dead? Like, how else could that happen
yeah,
aside from, you know, technology? Like,
yeah,
it, yeah,
that's true.
it's crazy.
That's true.
I keep hearing
Wow.
things
I wasn't trying to
about
cut you off if I did. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, you did not. No, sir.
the Yalta conference, and that's not what I'm trying to find. I know what the Yalta conference is. That's not what I'm looking for.
Mm,
Um, I don't know why I can't find it. Save my life. Trying to think of like a verbiage to. I'm being too wordy with how I'm searching, but
What are you trying to search for?
I'm trying to find the name of that conference that I was talking about. I'm pretty sure it was at a ski resort, and I don't remember where I had originally heard. I think it was on from some expert on Lex Friedman podcast. but yeah, so like whatever it was, I can't find it right now. But whatever it was, right? Like that's essentially what like the United Nations and a lot of like that type of stuff eventually stemmed out of. But yeah, it's an interesting time in history to say the least. So,
Beyond, dude.
and it's
One of the most, it feels like.
a lot of times it feels like we're on the precipice of something like that again. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose whatever happens, happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I know I kind of diverted us a lot there.
Hey, no, that's totally
No,
fine. I
dude.
mean, I think that I mean, as I mean, I don't know how much we've talked about it, Matt. I don't know if in the first episode we talked about it very much, but that's one thing we love about having this podcast is we just three guys that can chill and talk about whether it's politics, God, or whatever, but we just us having the perspective of Jesus and trying to have wholesome conversations. I think
Oh
is
yeah, yeah. I
is
mean, I think
is
that's the only
awesome.
thing that gives me solace, right? It's like whatever happens, I know that it's God's plan, so I'm not too stressed
Yes.
about it. But
Yes, no, I agree. I agree, but it's funny because I'm on the like I shouldn't say the opposite. Like just me personally, like I'm in a position right now where I'm like, well, maybe I should learn a little bit more. Maybe I should pay just a little bit more attention because man, when I was raised, as you guys know, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. So I mean, we weren't allowed to vote for the president of the United States. We were not. They didn't want us watching the news. They didn't want us getting into politics. They didn't want us knowing any. Like we were not supposed to be involved with politics at all. Like most people in that church, they know the president of the United States at that moment, but the most of them that I could think I'm being pretty.
at least from your
Uh,
experience, right? So
Yes, from my experience, what
yeah,
I've understood, like especially the younger kids, like in their teenagers and then mid like young 20s, like they don't really pay attention to what's going on because we were instructed not to, right? And
That's
so, so for and I'm not adding any, I'm not trying to offend anybody or their belief. It's just that well, the outcome of that is someone like me who's really just never pay attention to. I mean, I didn't even know for the longest time I got older. Like when's election season? Like when does this happen? Like what's going on? Who's running for
I mean, you're not
president? Like
alone. I
you
mean,
know,
even people that
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
the excuse that you do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I mean,
Which is a really good one.
Right. Well,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's
if you're gonna have a reason, it's
yeah.
indoctrination. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to learn from that and grow from that and learn a little bit more and just kind of just to know what's going on and plus because I mean we're instructed to know our audience and being able to talk about things that are going on throughout the world is important and it is a concern for a lot of people and it's I think a great preaching tactic to get yourself in conversations with people and be able to say the very thing you just said. Well, hey, I mean, Jesus will be done, so I mean, we're gonna be okay. And yeah, so I'm gonna do my best to learn a little bit more about that stuff.
And what's
So I
cool
don't mind
about
listening at all.
what's cool about this specific point in time is like right now it's so crystal clear that at this point it's literally good versus evil. Like that's literally what it boils down to
Yeah.
at this point in time.
Mm,
And it's amazing. And this is something I think I've talked to you about, Austin. It's amazing to see for me because it's like things took such a dramatic turn so fast, like away from God, like so quickly and so extreme that like even people who don't resonate at all with God or even the concept understand that the traditional way before, like whether they acknowledge that it's right, living righteously or not, that that was the correct way, and that what we're doing now is extremely wrong and extremely destructive and just extreme. I mean,
yeah.
in the last like 8 years, dude, it's like just since even before Trump, like as soon as I mean, it's been very drastic, but the last like 8-10 years, it's just been so extreme. And yeah, and so it's like at this point in time, and there's so much going on that has been so evil and so much being exposed and brought to the surface that like it's really becoming a good and evil fight, not political party. It just so happens that one political party is predominantly this way and one is predominantly this way, but even with that, you've got people jumping sides because it doesn't even really matter anymore. It's not it's not even about that now. And so it's a
Tucker
perfect
Carlson.
time to be like, to present Christ, because that's kind of at the end of the day what a lot of this is
It's
even
boiling
about.
down to, right? And like even
It's amazing.
Tucker Carlson was on, I believe it was Joe Rogan, but it could have been Lex. I can't remember, but I think it was Joe Rogan. He was on there and he's like, "Man, Joe, you think that there really could just be like a spiritual battle going on right now? Like this isn't about blue and red. This
Yeah,
is
I think
about
that's Joe Rogan.
the evil forces like that are, you know what I mean?" And I agree. I agree so
Well,
much.
and
And I
I mean,
think
keep in mind, I think Tucker Carlson's not somebody that's particularly religious. So
No,
he's
he is
Christian.
actually.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah.
I mean, he's not extremely from like hearing
Yeah,
him talk on
not extreme. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
talking to him
You're-
on,
Oh,
like
okay.
with him talking to Lex, like he believes there's a God, but he's not like he doesn't go to church all the time. He doesn't really read the Bible, right? Like so he's kind of like, you know, I think in the position that a lot of people are, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
just from my understanding, and maybe
Yes.
misunderstanding it, but,
That when you're, I know he has mentioned Christianity, but I think you are. I think you're closer to the truth.
and
With
I think
just,
he has a Catholic background. Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
so.
sure.
I'm not 100%
But
sure. But either way, right? Like
yes,
for him
yes.
and Joe to realize that and recognize that, I think is
It's
kind of like a telling part of the times, right? It's like everybody knows like
Oh, yeah.
something is happening and everybody knows like something's going on, but nobody can really quite put their finger on it, and everybody's trying to figure it out. And it's
Which is
almost
crazy.
like what's the word I'm looking for? It's palpable for a lot of
Yeah.
people, I think.
It is.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens, but
yeah. And boys, I'm gonna have to adjourn here. I really loved
Over here as well.
the episode, man. And next time we'll get a little bit more conversation. And we got a little late start, so that's
Yeah, my bad, guys.
no. I gotta get going too, man. It's 9 o'clock. You have work tomorrow, Matt? Or you're off? Okay, cool. Awesome, man. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate the conversations, and those listening, don't forget to like and subscribe. So I didn't know how I was going to do that.
was
But anyways,
Yeah, it was great. Good job.
God bless you guys, man.
yes.
What have
good
I got
talk,
you?
gentlemen. I will.
Yeah.
I guess we will talk soon, and we are good to go. Where? Okay, there we go. Yes, yeah, and we got the Google Meet stuff figured out, so we will be
Yeah.
good next time with less silliness. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Do you like